Do you? Do you wish Keith did this for y'all? Well, here's the thing, and don't repeat this, but Play ball indeed here at Fort Mill High School, game 3 of a 4-game set. Happy Monday, everybody. On behalf of Athletic Director Mac Banks and Senior Head Coach Tom Skula, I'm John Turner, blessed and humbled to be the voice of Fort Mill Post 43 Senior Baseball. This is the second to last game of the regular season, the last home game of the regular season. So unfortunately, the clock is ticking on the three amigos that has been this press box, and I cannot wax poetically enough about the gentlemen to my left. Brandon and Ryan have actually been godsends this summer. One of the things we always worry about is running the scoreboard, who's going to take care of game changer, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. These two guys take care of it all. They'll pay your mortgage, they'll wash your car, they'll take care of any kind of legal issues you have and still run the game as clear as possible. They are just that stinking good. And I know they're laughing at me. That's not funny, guys. This is a serious work environment. Speaking of serious, on the mound is number 11, Sam Chiz. The catcher is Drew Gaff, third baseman Eli Craddock. The shortstop's Gabe Simmons. Second base is Cheeseball, otherwise known as Jager Penkowski. First baseman is Scott Young. Your outfield from left to right is Jonathan Barshow, Zach Jennings. And the right fielder tonight for Fort Mill is Nico Bartolotti. Fort Mill 8-6 on the season. If you look at the standings in the league, we're going to talk about this. What are the ramifications of this week? I'll go ahead and tell you the cat out of the bag. Neither one of these teams want to split. Let me introduce Sam. Be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the batter this evening for Fort Mill, the catcher's number 4, Drew Gaff, and on the mound, number 11, Sam Chiz. So here's what I'm talking about when I make that statement. If you look at the league right now, Rock Hill is in first, Fort Mill is in second, then comes Winsboro, then Lancaster. Now, here's the situation for Fort Mill. If Fort Mill wins this game on Wednesday night and Winsboro finds a way to beat Rock Hill twice, Fort Mill will be the league champions. Now, there's also a scenario for Lancaster, but here comes Sanders to get it started. Leading off the first inning for Lancaster Post 31, the catcher number 17, Brody Sanders. And for some reason, I'm extremely nervous. Even after all this time and all these broadcasts, I still get nervous. My hand's a little shaking. I don't know why. The pitch. Did he check his swing? Even after all this time and all these broadcasts, I still get nervous. My hand's a little shaking. I don't know why. The pitch. Officially 7:08. That's because of the lightning. There was a little bit of a lightning delay. We had to clear the ballpark, but everybody is okay. Thankfully, the pitch to Brody Sanders, high and outside, 1-1 to count. It is a very uncomfortable 94 degrees. It feels like it's 104. And no, this is not Arizona, and it's not a dry heat either. That pitch is swung on and fouled off. Man, it is H-O-T hot. There is a chance of rain. We almost got pelted with rain. It missed us. It was raining over the tree line, but it did not come over this way, and we're thankful. Pitch from Sam Chiz, swung on and missed. Down goes Brody Sanders. 1 up and 1 down, and that'll bring up shortstop Landon Peavy. Walking to the plate for Lancaster is the shortstop number 2, Landon Peavy. We also have a special guest in the booth tonight. He is truly a scholar and a gentleman. That pitch is swung on and fouled off. Brayden Plyler, ladies and gentlemen. He is a Fort Mill Yellow Jacket, and he is also on the Fort Mill Post 43 junior team. He has closed the game out. He has batted. He's pinched hit. He's come on and been a pinch runner as well. The pitch is swung on and fouled out of play 0-2. And I think he about lost his mind when coach said, yes, you're stealing third. But you know what he did? He stole third. I like it. The 0-2 from Sam pops the outside corner, but a little off the corner. Peavy checked the swing, so no harm, no foul. Sam kicks and fires. That pitch is swung on and dribbler off the middle. Gabe's got a range to his left. Got to throw hard in the dirt. Dug out by Scott Young, but dropped by Scott Young. That'll just simply go as a base hit. First base runner of the night for Lancaster for Ashton Phillips. Next up for Post 31, the center fielder number 36, Ashton Phillips. And Mr. Phillips was part of the issue in the loss to Lancaster. The other gentleman that was a thorn in the side of Fort Mill was left fielder Connor Griffin. Adam Wright stole a base hit from third. Connor Griffin stole at least 4 base hits away from Fort Mill. That pitch off the inside corner for ball 1. Mm. We have some in the press box already. We're only in the top of the first. We're just getting warmed up. The pitch swung on and missed. He was trying to send that one back down Highway 521. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Now there's a snap throw to first, close play, but he's back in safely, and he is Landon Peavy. Finish my comment on Braden Plyler. Braden is a student who's dang near perfect in the classroom. The 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2. Every once in a while, he'll get the 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2. Every once in a while, he'll get under his teammate's skin because he'll come in and go, man, I only made a 93. Some of those guys in the locker room would hope and pray for a 93. But he holds himself to a high standard, and I appreciate that. Another throw to first. Sam's got a good move. Let's just say the 2 guys for Fort Mill who have towed the rubber and done outstanding jobs. That pitch is swung on and missed right in the front door, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Sam Chiz. I'm going to bring up Adam Wright. Now batting third baseman number 13, Adam Wright. So feast or famine for Sam. 2 Ks and a single. Pitch bangs the outside corner. The 2 officials tonight are 2 of the most seasoned umpires that exist in this entire area. They have been there, done that, worn that T-shirt, and washed it 3 times. The pitch, breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street at the belt. And I think Mr. Wright's kicking himself because that, my friends, I believe, was a pitch to hit. I don't think you're going to see that one again from Sam. Pitch, fastball high and inside. Purpose pitch. What do you think, fellas? Slider off the outside corner? Survey set. Slider off the outside corner. Oh, we really do need a hobby. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the top of the first, no score. Lancaster has a runner at first. Sam out of the stretch. Pitch swung on and missed. Strikes out the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. A man left. We have the bottom of the first. Lancaster nothing. Fort Mill is coming up. To the bottom of the first inning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in wherever you may be across the fruited plains of America and around the world, either on YouTube, the MixLR app, or Game Changer. The pitch slider off the outside corner from Carter Cox, who Fort Mill has seen already this year, both Fort Mill Post 43 and Fort Mill High School, by the way. And he did a great job both times. That pitch is swung on, and it's going to be ripped into right field for a base hit. And with that base hit, Mr. Craddock will take the team lead and base hits away, temporarily anyway, from the guy coming up. That's Nico Bartolotti. Next up for Fort Mill, Creekville number 16, Nico Bartolotti. I do believe that is the 19th base hit of the season for Mr. Craddock. That includes a triple, a couple of doubles, and now they're going to call a balk. I did not see what happened, but I think Mr. Chiz did. See what happened. Okay. That will bring a conversation from Mr. Skula, I do imagine. Or maybe not. I think the umpire must have got it right, because otherwise Coach Skula would have come out and asked a few questions. That pitch bangs in there for strike one. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I did have somebody reach out to me and go, hey, not many people are watching or listening. I'm looking at the number of listeners and number of watchers, and it's a really low number. That is not the correct number, by the way. I assure you. The pitch, outside corner, but off the corner. Good eye from Nico. It's 1-1 to count. And I'll tell you why. The other night against Lancaster, it showed that I only had 30-something people watching. When the report was published and emailed to me as soon as I ended the stream, it was 4 times that. The pitch swung on a hard ground ball first base side, but it'll go foul. 4 times that. The pitch swung on a hard ground ball first base side, but it'll go foul. And that's just pointing out, in other words, don't worry about it. People are listening. It's just the real-time number is not accurate. It's fake news. It's fake news. Carter Cox, former Nation Ford Falcon, transferred to Lancaster. Pitch swung on and missed. And down goes Nico, who rarely strikes out. 1 down for Gabe. Walking on the plate for Fort Mill, the shortstop number 3, Gabe Simmons. And I'm a little upset with Mr. Simmons at the moment. And here's the reason why. I've become addicted to his walk-up song. It's Eminem, but it's a really cool song. Slider off the outside corner to Mr. Simmons. Slider off the outside corner to Mr. Simmons. I'm trying to think the last time Nico Bartolotti struck out. It's been a minute. He rarely strikes out. 2 on the season. So that's not like Nico. He's got a great sense of the strikes on. The pitch is swung on as the runner goes in motion, but it'll be fouled off. A little hit and run action there from Coach Skula, who's pushing buttons early on in this contest. We are in the South. You know, my grandmother, instead of saying press buttons, she used to say you mash them. Love that woman. I mean, there are days I wish she was still alive. I'd pick her brain. I didn't realize how stupid I was until I got older. Man, the days back when I knew it all. Runner at first, 1 down. The 1-1. Swung on and roped. Deep left field. Will the ballpark hold it? The left fielder, Connor Griffin, at the wall, reaches up, and he makes the catch. That is the 4th or 5th time that he has robbed a Fort Mill batter of extra bases. He has been showing out defensively in the last 2 games. Two down for Scott Young. Now batting for Fort Mill, the first baseman, number 24, Scott Young. No way did I think Connor had a shot at that baseball. But he jumped up against the fence, the 10-foot fence. He banged into it and made the catch. That would have given Fort Mill a one-run lead, and it probably would have been at least a double. But as it stands, we're in our first two down. Pitch swung on a rifle shot foul off the bat of Scott Young, who's also one of the team leaders in base hits. I get that question all the time. I'll tell you exactly who's got what. And now there is a fly ball around the right field line going foul. And can anybody, know what happened? The pitcher threw it away. So that'll be an E1. Sorry, I looked down to look at the stat sheet, totally didn't see what happened. But Carter Cox tried to pick off Eli at first, and he threw it by his first baseman, Braden Small. So that'll go as an E1. It's a two-base error. And now Eli stands at third base, but with two down. That's what happens when you take your eye off the ball. No balls and a strike to Scott Young. Pitch from Carter. Slider squeezes by the catcher, but not far enough away for Elijah to advance. Eli's been one of those kids, even when he has a really bad day, for some reason, I've always been able to make him smile. The 1-1 swung on and hit foul, 1-2. I'll also say this. He'll forever live in my memory because my first game as the play-by-play guy for WRHI for a Fort Mill home game, the first touchdown was Eli Craddock. It was a pass into the flat. It was from 6 yards out. And I'll remember that the rest of my days. The 1-2 in the dirt's 2-2. And I'll remember that the rest of my days. The 1-2 in the dirt's 2-2. I think that was against Spring Valley. Is Andrew down there? Little brother? And I said little's in quotes. That pitch is swung on and hits off the foot of Carter Cox. It ricochets to Kazmierzak, who will make the play. Should check on Carter to see if he's okay, but it'll go as a 1-4-3 put out, and it retires to side. No runs, a hit, one error, one left on base. We go to the second, no score. No runs for Fort Mill on one hit, one error, one left on base. We hit the second inning, still scoreless. Ask and ye shall receive. Phone and actually unmute people. So that's it. Technology. I suck at it. The pitch Down the heart of the plate, but missed low. 2 balls and no strikes. The leadoff man here in the second inning is Braden Small. It's going to be Small, Brady Jackson, Connor Griffin. Pitch inside corner, clips the corner for a strike, much to the dismay of Braden Small. 2 balls and a strike. I believe Braden goes to Indian land, or did. Pitch swung on a chopper third base side, but it will go foul. Head coach of Lancaster Post 31, I'm very proud to say he's a buddy of mine, Jimmy Jackson, former Andrew Jackson assistant coach. He's now the head coach of Great Falls. He's a good man. He's a good dude. The 2-2 from Sam swung on and a rifle shot through the whole right side. That's a nice piece of hitting for Braden Small, just inside out and hit it the opposite way. So the leading man on for Jackson. Walking to the plate for Lancaster, second baseman number 12, Brady Jackson. And if you're thinking, are they related? Yes. Brady Jackson is Jimmy Jackson's son, one of 2 who played for the Volunteers of Andrew Jackson. That pitch in the dirt. Two base hits for Lancaster, but thankfully no runs at the moment. Fastball right on the outside corner. It's a ball and a strike. The wind has died down. The clouds have taken care of the sun. It's cooled it off a little bit, but I bet you the heat index is still somewhere around 100. The pitch swung on and sawed him off. A chopper right back to Sam. He's going to go to second. He'll get the out there, nothing at first. That force out will go, the fielder's choice, I should say, will go 1-4. And that'll put Jackson at first base. And that'll bring Connor Griffin. Now batting the left fielder, number 30, Connor Griffin. And Connor the other night didn't just show out with his bat and glove, with his glove, I should say. He was very good with the War Club as well. Pitch from Sam, the old Uncle Charlie. I'm going to guess it was high. The plate is 17 inches wide, and that was right on about, 8 3/4 inches. Decent lead at first for Brady, but nothing to get worried about. The pitch from Sam, fastball on the outside corner. Sam got in trouble in the first inning, the base hit by Peavy, but got out of it, ended up striking out the side. And if you look at Sam's strikeout numbers over the last few games, they've risen substantially. That pitch is swung on and missed. Oh, because Mr. Plyler's in, I'm going to say it's Louisiana. I like it. The 1-2 to Connor, fastball high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We did interview former Post 43 junior head coach Michael Lewis on our podcast, shameless plug. Now the Milltowners, we're on the Apple platform until they figure out we're just 3 old idiots, and then they'll probably take us down. But you should listen to that interview. He was a ball of fun. That pitch is swung on and missed, and that'll take care of Connor Griffin. The 4th K already for Sam. Let's bring up Carter Cox. Now batting the pitcher, number 33, Carter Cox. Michael Lewis is a ball of fire. I nicknamed him Red Bull because if you're ever around him, no matter what time of the day, my man is on fire. That pitch in the dirt, it takes a bite out of Drew Gaff, who can't find it, and Scott Young's got to go get it, dig it out over near the on-deck circle. Runner moves to the third, throw over short hops Eli, but he saves the bacon. That'll go as a wild pitch, but it'll be a 2-base wild pitch. And now run number 1 for Lancaster stands at third base. You rarely see that. Normally, Drew Gaff rips off that mask. He knows exactly where the baseball went. But as a catcher, that is a very helpless feeling. When you rip the mask off and you don't see that little white ball, you panic. The 1-0 looked like a foul tipped into the glove of the catcher. It did. It's 1-1. The runner third is Brady Jackson, but 2 outs. The 1-1 swung on, chopper right side. Scott Young's got it. Going to take it himself. He'll win the race to the bag. and that'll retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, one. Left on base, we had the bottom of the second, still no score. We have the bottom of the second inning, ladies and gentlemen. No score. Zach Jennings will lead it off for 4 Mill Post 43. Game 3 of a 4-game set against Jimmy Jackson's Lancaster Post 31. And I screwed up the song requests again. That's the third night home game in a row. 2 words. You're fired. The pitch, slider off the outside corner. Carter Cox going to do a little maintenance out there. Jimmy, my man Jimmy over there is a heavy metal fan, so we will be throwing on some deep tunes there. Heavy stuff. That pitch swung on and a cue ball off the end of the bat. Foul. A ball and a strike. Here's what I wrote down in case you guys are interested. I'm going with, let's see. I'm going with You Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest. Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue. Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Then I'm going to go into An American Spirit because tomorrow is Independence Day. Tell you about those selections. That pitch swung on and a hard ground ball right to the shortstop. He'll glove it, throw across is high, but did Braden Small with the bag? Yes, sir, he did. 1 up and 1 down for Barshow. Walking to the plate for Fort Mill, left fielder number 8, Jonathan Barshow. The American songs I picked out, Living in America by Mr. James Brown, who is a native of South Carolina, Barnwell, South Carolina. A lot of people think he's from Augusta, Georgia. That is not true. Not true at all. Stars and Stripes by Aaron Tippin. Pretty good one there. Pitch from Carter Cox, breaking ball off the outside corner. Ball 1. Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. And ROCK in the USA. The 1-0 off the outside corner, but bangs in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. And I'm going to finish with a song that I haven't played, I don't think ever, but it's Metallica's The End of the Line. But if you think about the lyrics, it's basically saying, you're done. We took care of you. That pitch off the corner is 2-1. But Fort Mill has got to win this game for me to be a butthole. I think Ryan Chiz and I are going to be friends long after this is over with. That pitch off the corner, 3-1. I just have this feeling. Brandon's like, no, get me out of this hell. Where's the escape hatch? He's the same one. Like the James Bond movie, where's the ejector seat? The 3-1 off the outside corner, ball 4. Great eye by Barshow. A 1-out base runner for Fort Mill for Cheese. Next up for Fort Mill, the second baseman, number 9, Jagger Pankowski. Jagger, a Fort Mill graduate, headed to Brevard College. Pitch from Carter Cox is in the dirt. Bounces away from the catcher, but not far enough away for any damage to be done. And what looks to me is Carter is falling behind a lot of guys. But so far, Fort Mill has not punished him for doing that. The 1-0 swung on and roped into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Station to station as Jonathan Barshow will slide into second. First and second for Fort Mill. Only one down. Here's Biscuit. Next up for Fort Mill, the designated hitter number 12, Hunter Biscuit. Biscuit has been walking a lot lately. Been drawing a lot of free passes. Pitch to Hunter. Fastball outside corner, right below the belt. Thing I love about Biscuit, he's constantly talking to the home plate umpire. He's always asking, where's that pitch? Where's this? Is that the bottom of the zone? The 0-1 inside. Hunter backs out of there. Hunter standing, his toes are not touching the painted line, but they're close. But he's got quick hands, so he's able to do that because if you try to come inside on him, he can pull his hands in and get the barrel to the ball. That pitch is swung on a hard ground ball to short. Could have been two. Now they're going to have a hard time getting one. Play it first. Oh, they call him out. That's a bad call. That'll bring up Drew Gaff. Now batting for Fort Mill, the catcher number 4, Drew Gaff. No way. No way. And if you want a video evidence, watch it on YouTube. But guess what? Umpires are human too, and they make mistakes. So you got to live with it. It's part of the game. Pitch, outside corner, call to strike. I'll tell you what one official told me in basketball several years ago, said, when you coach and play the perfect game, I'll ref a perfect game. Thought that was a pretty good comeback, to be honest with you. Second, third, 2 down. The pitch from Carter swung on and missed. For Biscuit, that will officially go in the book as a fielder's choice, I believe, 6-3 on the putout. So Barshow's at third. And Pankowski's at second. We're in the second. No score. And if you go back and look, even before the Rock Hill game and you include the Lancaster game, in the last 18 innings of baseball, Fort Mill had scored 1 time. Let that marinate for a second. The pitch swung on. It's going to be right to the hole left side. That's going to go by the boards. Barshow will score. Right behind him is Jagger Pankowski. He will score easily. And Fort Mill takes the lead. It's 2-0. And Fort Mill has doubled their output. And with one swing of the bat, here's Eli. Courtesy runner at first base for Fort Mill, number 1, Drew Brink. Back to the top of the order for Fort Mill and third baseman number 10, Eli Craddock. So runner at first, but Fort Mill up 2-0. Pitch almost hit Eli in the noggin. Give Drew Gaff a base hit. Give him 2 RBIs. Could that be the floodgates opening for Fort Mill? We certainly hope so. Because here's the thing. When a powerful offense, that pitch is off the outside corner for ball 2. When a powerful offense goes into a slump like that, they don't come out and score 1 or 2 runs. Normally they come out and they donkey stomp somebody. It's double digits in the blink of an eye. Maybe that's tonight. I don't know. But boy, howdy, it would be great if the offense could be fine-tuned headed into the playoffs next week. That pitch swung on, didn't mean to, and it's a ground ball right back to Carter. and he'll tag Eli, who still had the bat in his hand. That's interesting, and that'll retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the third inning. 4-2, Lancaster nothing. Headed to the third inning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hive, Fort Mill High School, home of the Yellow Jackets, and also home to Fort Mill Post 43 seniors. Pitch from Sam Chiz to Reed Kazmierzak, and a rifle shot tomahawked in the center field, but Zach Jennings will run it down. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Hit right on the screws, back to the top of the order, and Sanders. Back to the top of the order for Lancaster, and the catcher, number 17, Brody Sanders. Put a star by that one. That was a rocket. But Zach Jennings, he almost overran it, to be honest with you. Ball still carrying, and he had to reach up over his head at the last second. Pitch to Sanders. That one swung on and tomahawk. Back, still going back, reaches up and makes the catch. Whew. That'll make your heart sink for a second. 2 down for Peavy. Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Landon Peavy. Pitch from Sam Chiz misses outside with the slider. We're in the top of the third inning. Fort Mill 2 and Lancaster nothing. Pitch swung on and missed. Whew. Doing the old Linda Ronstadt and a little blue by you. It's 1-1. Pitch from Sam Chiz. That's a 59.5 footer. And Drew Gaff very wisely just lets that one sail on by. I'm just curious. The WBTV Weather Alert app, the pitch swung on and missed. It's 2-2. When the game started, it was 94 and it felt like 104. With the cloud covers now, with it being a quarter till 8, it's now 84 degrees and it feels like 90. The 2-2 swung on and missed. And down goes Sanders and Peavy, and so does Lancaster. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. We head to the bottom of the third, still 2-0. Nothing across for Lancaster in their half of the third inning. We head to the bottom half. Score remains 4-2. Lancaster nothing. Welcome back, everybody, to Fort Mill High School. Next to last regular season game of the season. Breaking ball from Carter Cox, who's back out there for his third inning of work. He'll face Nico Bartolotti, who's 0 for 1 tonight, a rare strikeout for Mr. Bartolotti. The 1-0 front door breaking ball right in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Carter out of the stretch exclusively tries to bring that. It's almost like a slur. He has a 12-6 that he can flip that'll go right off the table. And then he can throw that pitch. It's almost like a slider, but it doesn't cut as much as a normal slider. So it's more like a slur. The 2-1 swung on and popped up a mile high, shallow left field. Coming in, Connor Griffin waves everybody off, and he'll squeeze it for out number 1. That'll bring up Simmons. Walking to the plate for Fort Mill, the shortstop number 3, Gabe Simmons. I'll say this about Gabe. He has hit some rifle shots in the last couple of games. And at Rock Hill, I'll give you 2 examples. The pitch swung on and hit a mile high right side, but it'll go out of play. Foul, strike 1 to Gabe. Go back to that game at Rock Hill, and he hit the ball hard twice, and the third baseman got him both times. So I make it sound like it's the Mojave Desert, the Fort Mill offense at the moment. Some guys are hitting the ball hard. It's just not finding the open spot, and that pitch bounces up there. We're going to open this window and get later. I can look at that without killing somebody. Okay. Not bad. Only a couple of things fell. That's pretty good for me. The 1-1 swung on and hit high and out of play, foul right side again. So hitting, leaders on the team, Eli and Nico are tied at 18 apiece. Then Scott Young and Jonathan Barshow are tied with 14 hits each. And all 4 of those guys, their slugging percentage is pretty good. They're not just signaling people. They're hitting rifle shots. They're tomahawking it. The pitch swung on, and that's hit foul. It'll stay 1-2 to Simmons. Bartolotti's got a couple of home runs on the season. Eli's got a home run and a triple. Scott Young has 7 doubles. Half of Scott Young's hits are doubles. Pitch from Carter Cox. That one swung on and hit high in the air, deep right field. Right fielder now come over towards the line, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up the aforementioned Scott Young. Now batting for Fort Mill, the first baseman, number 24, Scott Young. And I think what Scott's doing there is being a human. Rain delay to give his pitcher a little bit more time to warm up. Pitch off the outside corner, ball 1 to Scott, who grounded out in a very unconventional 1-4-3 ground out. It banged off the leg of Carter Cox, who's thankfully okay. The 1-0 stays high as 2-0. Carter out of the stretch all the time. The 2-0 swung on a hard ground ball, a worm burner to the shortstop, who has the double clutch, throw to first in time, and that'll retire the side. 3 up and 3 down for Fort Mill. We head to the 4th inning, still 2-0 Fort Mill. What was I supposed to? Oh, Sam's going back out there, so we're going to do the thingamabob. Oh, we did that. Head to the fourth inning. Welcome back, everybody, to Fort Mill High School. Trying to change the electronics in front of me to keep what I affectionately refer to as the cockpit operating in some sort of fashion that makes sense. That pitch is swung on, popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Gabe Simmons barks off everybody. I think he just woke up dead people across the street with that one, but he catches it for out number one. One pitch and one out for Lancaster. That'll bring up Wright. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, Adam Wright. Sorry, say again. That pitch just swung on and fouled back to the screen. Ryan. Yes, sir. Your boy Eddie. He wants to know what thingamabob means. It's just the opposite of whatchamajig. The complete opposite of whatchamajig. That's a great answer. 1-1 is the count to Adam Wright. I just think we just got in the middle of a back and forth. Oh, dear. The 1-1 swung on and hit high in the air, shallow left field. Out goes Simmons. In comes Barshow, but it'll be Gabe. And back-to-back pop-outs to the shortstop is how the top of the fourth goes for Braden Small. Now batting the first baseman, number 9, Braden Small. And you bet your bottom dollar I am keeping an eye on my beloved Atlanta Braves, who have the best record in baseball. And by the way, that's not even with all the bullets in the gun. That pitch is swung on and tomahawked in the center field. It's shallow, though. In comes Zach Jennings. And ABC 1-2-3 goes Lancaster in the top half of the fourth inning. We head to the bottom half, still 2-0. Good guess. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning with the dulcet sounds of the one and only Mr. Bobby Caldwell. It's Zach Jennings time, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be the middle part of the order for Fort Mill. Carter Cox still on the bump and pours in strike one. Zach is 0 for 1, ground out to short, start to second. Fort Mill up 2-0 on 3 base hits. Fort Mill has committed, I think we committed an error, have we not? No, we haven't. Lancaster committed the error. The pitch off the inside corner. We did talk before the game about what this game means for both of these teams. And I don't think I ever finished what happened for Lancaster. That pitch is swung on and hit high in the air, deep right center field on his horse, the center fielder near the fence, and he can't make the catch. Zach running full out, hits the bag at second, and he'll drop anchor. A leadoff double for Zach Jennings, and that's how the bottom of the fourth begins. Bang. Here's Barshow. Here's Jonathan Barshow, who's shown some power this season. The pitch off the outside corner. We were talking on the podcast last night, I should say, with Coach Lewis, and he brought up Jonathan, and he talked about how he was on the struggle bus. That's the thing about Coach Mike Lewis. Love him or hate him, he's brutally honest. The 1-0 is swung on and hit high in the air, foul third base side, but it will go into the stands. Everybody's okay. That's where Coach Michael Lewis and Coach Travis Collier are exactly the same animal. They are going to look you in the eye and tell you what the truth is. They're not going to pull punches. They're not going to mince words. They're not going to try to hurt somebody's feelings. It's just, here it is. Go for it. And Coach was like, Marshall struggled. And all of a sudden, he came into Fort Mill Post 43 baseball, and the light bulb went off. And I asked Jonathan point blank, and this is what I love about some of these players. He looked me right in the eye and he said, I finally got out of my own head. Great answer. Carter Cox brings the 1-1. That one's a breaking ball off the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's the other thing Jonathan said as well, is that he's starting to follow the strike zone a lot better. He's starting to follow the strike zone a lot better. Not striking out and not chasing that exact pitch right there. Something soft and away off the corner. The pitch swung on and hit hard and deep to left field. Connor Griffin coming over. He dives and he makes another catch. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That's absolutely unbelievable. He has been a one-man defensive wrecking crew, and that will keep the runner at second, 1 down for Pankowski. Now batting second baseman number 9, Jager Pankowski. He has been an absolute animal. He did. I forgot about that. You're right. Absolutely did. The pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner. No one's ever questioned Connor Griffin's defensive abilities. Nobody. Not that I've ever heard. The pitch off the outside corner. Know Connor pretty well. He's going to give you everything he's got. Saw him before the night's game. Had a little chat with Carter Cox. That's the thing. A lot of these guys, you know them. The 1-1 breaking ball bangs the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. Rock Hill does not play till Wednesday. They play with the Winsboro Bandits at home at Rock Hill High School Wednesday and Thursday night. Why is that important to Lancaster? 1-2 off the corner, 2-2. If Lancaster beats Fort Mill tonight and Wednesday night, and Winsboro beats Rock Hill twice, Lancaster finishes 3rd, which is important because if you're the 4th seed coming out of this league, that means you're on the road in game 1 and you're going to somebody's league champion. You're going to a Greer or a Inman. Pitch swung on and a tapper foul. No, they say it's a strike 3. It's a drop third strike. They'll throw to first and get him out, but the runner will move up 90 feet to third. So it'll go as a strikeout, a drop third strike, 2 outs for Biscuit. Welcome to the plate for Fort Mill, the designated hitter number 12, Hunter Biscuit. And sorry about YouTube. I am the PA guy as well, and I'm having a hard time muting all the same things at the same time. First pitch to Biscuit off the outside corner. I keep forgetting to mute y'all. So apologies there. That pitch is swung on and hit high in the air. Left center field coming over Connor Griffin. He's got it, and that'll retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Moving merrily along. We head to the 5th inning, still 2-0 Fort Mill. Welcome back, everybody, to Fort Mill High School. Post 43 seniors, 2-0, good guys. We play ball here in the top of the fifth. First pitch is swung on and popped up a mile high. Right side near the foul line. Scott Young backpedaling and holds on and makes the catch. Great job by Scott. That'll bring up Connor Griffin. Walking to the plate for Lancaster, the left fielder, number 30, Connor Griffin. First pitch in there for a strike to Connor Griffin. Want to say hello to a very special family. It's near and dear to my heart. That pitch is swung on. A two-hopper deep in the hole to Simmons. Loads up, fires across, got him. Oh, they call him safe. Wow. Okay. That's got to go as an infield base hit. So a runner at first with one down for Carter Cox. Can we go to instant replay? No? Okay. Squares around a bunt. Pitch off the outside corner. Throw behind the runner. First short hop, Scott Young. The family near and dear to my heart, the Lauder family. Just got a text from Brandy who does, I have no idea how she does it. She raises her family. She's a wife. She's a sister. She's a daughter. She's a wife. She's a sister. She's a daughter. She's beat breast cancer. She's one of the strongest women that I know, and she just gives her heart and soul to everything here at Fort Mill High School for Fort Mill baseball, and just cannot thank her and her family enough for all that they do. The pitch swung on and hit deep in the air left field. That's trouble. Barshaw's on the track at the wall. It bangs off the top of the wall, and he makes the catch, but it hit the wall. But they're going to say he's out. It hit his glove first. If it hit his glove, you're saying it hit his glove first, then it hit the wall, then it bound back into his glove. Is that what you're saying? So if it's possible, what happened was he went against that tarp, and it's kind of that time of the night where it's hard to see. Coach Jimmy Jackson is beside himself, and what the umpire is saying is, based off his hand gestures, is I think what Mr. Chiz is saying is that the ball hit his glove, caromed off his glove, never made contact with the fence, and then he made the catch. And that is a legal catch if that was the scenario. And that is out number 2 for Reed Cas. And that is a legal catch if that was the scenario. And that is out number 2 for Reed Kazmierzak. We'll explain a little bit. Hang on just a second. So if the ball hits the glove of a fielder and then hits something else, quote unquote, a foreign sub of any kind, that pitch swung on and ripped through the whole right side base hit. Second time tonight, Reed Kazmierzak has hit the ball hard. So first and second for Fort Mill, or excuse me, for Lancaster, I beg your pardon. Back to the top of the order, and Brody Sanders. The only play that I can think of that's near that is there was a play several years ago where I think it was Connor Manko came over near the fence, first base side, and it hit his glove as they hit the top of the fence, which is only a 4-foot fence. The ball bounced up in the air, and then Connor caught it. And the umpire made the same kind of hand gesture, like, hey, it hit the glove, bounced up, he caught it, that's a catch. Now, if the ball hits the glove and then hits the fence, hits anything else, the ground, it's a live baseball. It's not a catch, if that makes any sense. Man, we've seen some quirky stuff this summer. The pitch. Woo, heads up over there. And Brandy is using technology to let her dad listen in. Appreciate that very much. Great family. Salt of the earth people, for sure. The 1-1 checked to swing, and he did. They can appeal, but I don't think he did. No appeal granted. Coming up with sponsors at the next break. We're in the top of the fifth. Runners at first and second, two down. Fort Mill nursing a two-run lead. The pitch, a breaking ball that is smoked. And the coach of pitch, a breaking ball that is smoked. And the coach at first base, I believe that's Jason Sanders. Coaching staff for Jimmy Jackson is Jason Wright, Jason Sanders, Blake Barron, and Coach Brian Good. That's a really impressive staff. The pitch, breaking ball right down Tom Hall Street for strike three, and that retires the side. No runs, two hits, no errors, two left on base. We have the bottom of the fifth, still 2-0, Fort Mill. He just yelled, "There's still a chance." Braves 3, and Jared Pankowski is a Cleveland guy. He's from Ohio, and he's a big fan of Cleveland, who's now called the Guardians, and he said, "Go Tribe." Listen, it's like Redskins fans, right? They're now called the Commanders. I mean, you grew up with that nickname. It's hard to just flush it and make that change all in one go. But I want to say a special thank you to sponsors in 2023. Carter Lumber, our primary and shirt sponsors, 146 locations, 13 states to serve you, 3 in the QC, 1 in Rock Thrill, serving professional builders since 1932. Valentine and Beyond Moving at the Platinum Leather. It's a local, long distance, international, or commercial. Get a quote today, ValentineMoving.com, or call 704 544 1800. Palmetto Family Hearing Center, our call to the bullpen sponsor, but we haven't had that yet, thankfully. They're dedicated to serving all their patients' hearing needs with expertise, cutting edge technology, and the best care in the biz. 2 locations, one in the Mill, one in Lancaster, and always at PalmettoFamilyHearing.com. Shelco LLC, a general contractor providing a wide range of construction services, including planning, construction, pre-construction, design, build, renovation, new construction, and BIM building excellence since 1978. Please, please, please support those who support Fort Mill Post 43 baseball. Here's Drew Gaff. I've got too many buttons. That pitch just swung on and a hard ground ball deep in the hole at second. Reed Kazmierzak tries to throw it, and he throws it over the first baseman's glove and throws it into the dugout of Fort Mill. That'll go as an E4, and it'll be a 2-base error, and that's how the bottom of the fifth begins. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Here's Eli. One of these days, I'm going to get my life together. It just won't be today. Carter Cox on the bump, runner at second. That'll be an error, but you know what? That play by Reed Kazmierzak, you kind of have to tip your cap to him in a way. Eli's going to square around the bunt. It's a slider that gets away from the catcher, and now they can take the bunt off. So the E4 and a wild pitch, and Lancaster is handing it to Fort Mill right now. Hey, we'll take all the help we can get. It's the way the offense has been going lately. We'll take anything you give us. Even if you got some extra Boston cream donuts, we'll probably help you eat those too. We need all kinds of help. Maybe we need some of Coach Lewis's Red Bull. No. The thing about it is, I've known Mike for several years, and he now has a baby girl. I think she's only 3 months old, I believe. She's a cutie pie. And he is still the same coach. He's still vivacious, but you can tell he's a different guy. Having daughters changes men. They can deny it all they want, but it's the truth. That pitch slider off the outside corner to Elijah, it's 2-0. And now Lancaster will go in what they call zero defense, all four infielders on the lip of the grass. That's a sign that Coach Jimmy Jackson thinks there's not going to be a lot of runs scored and a 2-run lead right now. He doesn't want to see it go to 3, definitely not 4. Pitch from Carter. Eli went to swing, checked the swing, borderline call. They don't even appeal. It's 3-0 to Craddock. My only beef with Brandy Lauder and her family is they are big fans of the Tennessee Volunteers, who have beaten the living snot out of my Clemson Tigers in about every sport known to man the last few years. A pitch off the corner, it's ball 4 to Eli. So first and second for Fort Mill. Here's Bartolotti, but here comes Coach Jackson. And usually when Mr. Jackson comes out, he brings the old hook with him. The Tennessee Volunteers have beaten my Clemson Tigers in football and baseball, probably in underwater basket weaving and tiddlywinks. 2 shades of orange. And for several years, Clemson owned that rivalry when those two teams played, but not lately. It's been all Vols, and Clemson had Tennessee down to their final strike twice and couldn't get the job done. But hey, tip of the cap. I'll say this: better Tennessee than somebody like Alabama. Here's Bartolotti. Next up for Fort. Oh, and I went to call Nico's name, and I keyed the mic with my kill switch, and nothing happened. Look down, my transmitter is dead. Batteries went dead. It's the second time in 2 weeks that it hasn't gone red. It just goes from green to dead. Runner takes off for second to throw. He will keep it in his pocket. That is a wise move because Drew Brink can run. The second that ball would have come out of that catcher's hand, Drew Brink would have been off to the races. So now Lancaster definitely in the suit. Fort Mill with their foot on Lancaster's throat. Can they squeeze it? Second and third, nobody out. The pitch from Carter off the outside corner to Nico Bartolotti, 2-0 to Nico. Is your dearly beloved in the ballpark tonight, Miss Sherry? She's down there. The 3-0, right down Tom Hall Street for strike one. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up, but I do want to make sort of an announcement. And it's a maybe. It's a huge maybe, so don't go putting it on Facebook and Instagram and all that nonsense. The 3-1 swung on a little looper into left field. Can Connor Griffin do it again? No, he's got to play it on a hop. Coming home to score will be Drew Brink. And it's 3-0 Fort Mill. Just a little Ric Flair out in the left field. Here's Simmons. Hey, it'll look like a line drive in the scorebook, and it's an RBI for Nico. 3-0 Fort Mill. Squares around the bunt, pulls the bat back, takes it for ball one. Gabe Simmons not afraid to lay one down. I've seen him do it before. Going to square around the bunt and actually bunted that one foul out of self-preservation. That's So I have asked permission. It has not been granted, but I have asked permission to broadcast the state tournament. Not even if Fort Mill doesn't make it, I've asked to be the broadcaster and do it on YouTube. That has not been given permission. Do not get overly excited. I've asked the question. The 1-1 from Carter Cox. The pitch swung on and hit down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair, and it is a fair ball. It's inside the corner. Coming around third is Craddock. He will score. Nico's on his way to third. It's an RBI double for Gabe Simmons, and Fort Mill is starting to break it open now. Great job of hitting there. And the line continues to move, and that'll bring a visit to the mound by Coach Jimmy Jackson. RBI double for Gabe Simmons. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our first Palmetto Family Hearing Center call to the bullpen. And yes, sir, Bob, we will. And trying to see the number. So it's a 1-for-1 swap. I think that's what the home plate umpire is saying. So it'll be Brady Jackson to pitch, and then Carter's going to second. All right. Brady Jackson, the new twirler for Lancaster. Palmetto Family Hearing Center, call the bullpen. Palmetto Family Hearing Center dedicated to serve all their patients' hearing needs with expertise, cutting-edge technology, and personalized care. There in Fort Mill and Lancaster, and always at PalmettoFamilyHearing.com. So Brady Jackson, who is the younger son of head coach Jimmy Jackson, he was on a volunteer team. Andrew Jackson, who, let me think here. I want to say they finished second in 2A to Legion Collegiate. And then this year they finished state runner-up to Oceanside Collegiate. So to say that they're a good baseball program is putting it mildly. So Nico Bartolotti will head back to third. Mr. Simmons will head to second. We'll bring up Scott Young. Defensive change for Fort Mill now at third, number 33, Carter Cox. Now batting for Fort Mill, first baseman number 24, Scott Young. So Carter Cox will move to third. And the pitch from Jackson swung on and a tapper foul, gloved by Jonathan Romano. That's the fourth time Jonathan has flashed the hands. Attaboy, JR. Former Fort Mill Yellow Jacket, played his college ball at Anderson. Then came into the coaching profession, was a coach for Fort Mill High School, assistant coach for Fort Mill High School. But now he's the head coach of York Prep. Jonathan Romano, younger guy, 30s, but full of beans, knows the game of baseball. Boy, does he love to run. Oh, man, he'd have these kids run until their tongue was slapping their brain. You should see his team play. This team's fun to watch. They put pressure on people. They don't mind. Jackson out of the windup. Swung on in a chopper, third base side. Carter Cox gives it the Olay, and he can't glove it. Coming home to score is Bartolotti. Score that one, doesn't matter. It's 5-0 Fort Mill. And Fort Mill starting to turn the screw. Here's Zach Jennings. Slider off the outside corner to Mr. Jennings, still trying to get everything back lined up where it's supposed to be. Here, so give. Is that an E? Did you call that an E5? You did? Okay. So no RBI. No. The pitch swung on, and this one's on a line to right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Gabe will literally moonwalk home, and the hit parade continues to roll merrily along, much like Mardi Gras down in Nolan's. Here's Barshow. That pitch bangs in there for a strike, but I haven't been in my right mind since about 1987, so that's neither here nor there. When your brother suplexes you through a second-story window, come talk to me. The 3-1 outside corner, 3-2 to Barshow. People think that's a joke. That really happened. Mama was pissed. I was about as mad as I've ever seen my mama. There's one other occasion she got mad. I'll tell you what my brother did. The payoff pitch. Oh, good eye from Barshow. Just off the outside corner, ball four, bases loaded for cheese. Amen to that. Pitch from Jackson. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. My middle brother started a fire. We used to live in a house, and the lot beside us was not filled. That pitch is swung on and tips off the glove of the pitcher, and then the shortstop can't get it. Scott Young will score. Boogieing around third is Zach Jennings. Throw in, not in time. It's 8-0 Fort Mill. That will be a base hit. And Fort Mill has officially batted around here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's Biscuit. I mean, I'm usually not one to be greedy, but if he could, jack one right here, Daddy gets to go home early. The pitch from Jackson off the outside corner, ball one. Finish that story real quick. So my brother had his friend over who had a moped, and he wasn't allowed to come over because he was not the greatest of kids. And his moped, the exhaust set the field on fire beside our house. So my brother got grounded for a month. The 1-0 bangs in there for strike 1-1. But I also got grounded for 2 weeks because I never called my mom. The first she heard of it was when the fire department called her and said, "Mrs. Egglise, did you know that the lot beside your house is on fire?" Well, Mama was mad as hell. I thought I thought she was going to kill my brother. I really did. I really did. The 1-1 swung on a rope, left field. This could end it. That's going to land inside the line. That's going to score maybe one. Jonathan Romano is going to give the stop sign, however, to Jager Pankowski, and it'll be second and third. Nobody out. We're going to have a pinch hitter, and it's Nick Kreis. As soon as the 10th run is scored. But once that 10th run is in, that's the only way that you can add that run in that scenario that I'm aware of is a home run. Then you have to count it because the ball actually left the yard, if that makes sense. No, it's understood. No, it's actually a great question. And basically, ladies and gentlemen, what Brandon is asking, fantastic question, actually. If Biscuit would have hit the plate before the umpire says ball game, does that make it run number 11? I don't think so. But if it would have been a home run, you got to count it. When it's right. So once Nick hits the first base bag and that 10th run scored, that's in other words, what you're asking is in a scenario where Biscuit scores, he hits the plate before Price hits the pillow at first. I think in that scenario, it has to be because the play's not dead till Nick. Because here's the thing: just because the ball lands fair, you can't just throw your bat and go celebrate. You have to run to first base because if they pick up the baseball and throw to first base, you are out. So Brandon's right. Until they hits that first base pillow, that's why he's the smart guy and gets paid the big bucks. Your final score is Fort Mill 10 and Lancaster nothing. I want to say thank you to Brandon and for Ryan for not only tolerating me, but been here all season long. They have been absolute, just brilliant. There's really no other way to describe it. They've been spot on every single night. They've been a tremendous help, and I just cannot thank them enough for all that they do this season. And, man, I hope we have many more to come selfishly. So your final line score for Lancaster, no runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, and they were all costly. For Fort Mill, you could argue the drought is sort of kind of over. 2 runs in the second, 8 in the bottom of the 5th, 10 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For Fort Mill, getting the win will be Sam Chiz. Complete game shutout, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, 57 pitches, 39 strikes. The only thing he did wrong, he threw a wild pitch. Other than that, Sam Chiz was money tonight. Fort Mill offensively finally got off the schneid. Cheese had 2 base hits. Here's the beautiful thing for Fort Mill. Every single starter reached base. Actually, everybody reached base. Everybody. Drew Brink is a courtesy runner. He scored. Nick Price came off the bench. He got to first base. A base hit by Eli, Bartolotti, Gabe, Scott Young. He scored a run, had an RBI. Zach Jennings with 2 base hits, scored a run, had an RBI. Jonathan Barshow scored twice because he was walked twice. Pankowski was 2 for 3. Hunter Brisquet 1 for 3. Andrew Gaff 1 for 2. And Andrew's hit broke it open 2-0 there early on in the game. So that is ball game for Fort Mill. They will move to 9-6 on the season. Finish the regular season on Wednesday night at Lancaster in the Red Rose City. I will be there with the camera, with the MixLR app, and we'll be ready to rock and roll fine folks at that time. So once again, your final score, Fort Mill 10 and Lancaster nothing. On behalf of Athletic Director Mac Banks, Senior Head Coach Tom Skula, I'm John Turner, voice of Fort Mill Post 43 Seniors until Wednesday night. So long, everybody.